once I was on a riverboat cruise, and I was in Mannheim, Germany on the river, and I had a mini stroke.
Oh, goodness.
They had to call an ambulance. They had to take me to a teaching hospital. I woke up 6 hours later. They said, we'd like to hold you in our hospital for 2 extra nights, and all of it was completely covered. When you leave the country, your insurance company doesn't cover you.
Right.
So you'd need this kind of insurance.
Welcome to Growing Your Business with Buddy Broyles, helping businesses share their voice, build authority, and grow through meaningful conversations. Joining me today on the Growing Your Business podcast is my friend Jim Warner of Voyage Crafters, which is a cruise planners franchise. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing great. Thank you,
It's
buddy.
great to have you here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to know, what is the Voyage Crafters and the Cruise Planners franchise, and what do you do that sets you apart, Jim?
Well, Voyage Crafter is a company that books cruises, land trips, rail trips, just a number of areas, safaris.
Everything that's fun. It sounds like, yeah.
Everything that's fun.
Yeah, the best parts of life.
It is. It is. What makes me the happiest about this business is putting smiles on people's faces. It is just an awesome experience when you send somebody over to Europe. They get on a riverboat. They travel from Amsterdam down to Basel and love every minute of it, and let me know. And it's why I do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Tell me about your journey into Voyage Crafters. How did you get to where you are now?
Well, so I owned an executive recruiting firm for 25 years. It was very successful. It did very, very well. Brought a team to about 8 people. I sold it about 4 years ago to one of my employees, and he's since taken the company and continued to grow it.
Wonderful.
I've done a lot of traveling over time and said, I don't want to sit around and eat bonbons and watch TV. What I want to do is I want to do what I love, which is travel, and I want to help other people enjoy the same experiences.
And by doing that, you take a lot of the mystery, the worry out of travel for others.
Absolutely. All my clients have to do is pack.
Yeah, I like that very much. Now, everybody loves a good travel story, and I know you have them, Jim.
Absolutely.
So I've got a list of these great stories to talk about that I want to know about. Let's talk about your travel stories, specifically New Zealand.
Wow. So I was in New Zealand traveling, but business doesn't stop. I can work anywhere in the world.
Sure.
And we had put a client on another trip, and they ran into a snag, and there was no flights out for that individual, and they were in Tahiti, I believe, and they called me. I was in New Zealand. I figured out what we needed to do. I got her on the last plane possible out of that area. And when I saw her again, she gave me the biggest hug.
Yeah.
It was meaningful. And that happens. People get snagged on trips, and they don't know who to call. But as a travel agent, I make sure that I'm available no matter where I am in the world.
And that's important that they do have a number to call.
Yeah.
And that's why you have a travel agent.
Absolutely.
The emphasis on they're your agent, they're your guide.
That's right.
And to protect you there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you had a client on a Star Clipper cruise from Rome to Venice. Tell me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Star Clipper, if you're not familiar, is a ship that has 5 masts, 42 sails, holds 227 passengers, and it is lovely. The food is Michelin style. Their excursions are really run by people that could be National Geographic experts. And our client really had a wonderful trip until the end, where at the end there was an air traffic controller strike at the airport, so that person couldn't get home. So they had to spend 2 extra nights and 2 extra days there in the country. Unfortunately, they had to sightsee 2 extra days.
No,
okay,
it sounds terrible, but there's risk. Right?
There is risk.
Yeah.
But because of risk, we really ask everyone to take out travel insurance.
Yeah.
Travel insurance can be used for medical purposes, air evacuation, cancellations, any number of things. But it also has something called trip interruption insurance.
Okay.
And trip interruption is where somebody is wanting to get on an airplane and has to stay in Europe for an extra 2 days. So hotels at that point go through the roof in terms of price. Food's always expensive, okay? And Ubers and taxis are you have to use,
Right.
okay? But the travel insurance covered all of that. So the client was not out any money. And when we finally got together at the end, she hugged me and she says, "Thank you for making me take out the travel insurance."
Yeah. Well, it literally bought her 2 extra days of travel.
It did.
No expense to her
That's
because someone else changed her plans.
Right. Now, I have had to use travel insurance twice. Once, I was on a riverboat cruise, and I was in Mannheim, Germany on the river, and I had a mini stroke.
Oh, goodness.
They had to call an ambulance. They had to take me to a teaching hospital. I woke up 6 hours later. They said, "We'd like to hold you in our hospital for 2 extra nights," and all of it was completely covered. When you leave the country, your insurance company doesn't cover you, so you'd need this kind of insurance. And I was good. They let me go. I said, "Can I have any? Do I need to take anything on the way out of here?" And they said, "Yeah, a little baby aspirin would be great." I got in an Uber, went down the next port, picked up the ship. And believe it or not, I knew about 50% of the people before having the stroke. But then when I got back, I was a celebrity. There was only 160 people on this boat.
Yeah.
I knew everybody.
Yeah.
I was now the celebrity.
Right. Yeah. Not the unintentional celebrity.
No,
right?
but that was travel insurance covered that, and it's really important, guys.
Yeah. And you've traveled quite a bit.
I have.
I see that you've the Rhine, on the rivers, river boats, to the Caribbean with towering masts and so on. Tell me about those and some of your favorite trips and what went well and what didn't go well.
Wow. Well, I had a really interesting trip up in Northern Europe.
Yeah.
And went to St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yeah.
That's not a comfortable place.
Yeah.
They really don't like Americans. And to be on a bus, because that was the only way we could do it, was 40 people on a bus running around St. Petersburg with bumper stickers on the cars that said, SCRUW.
Yeah.
SCREW, Americans.
Wow.
And it was not comfortable. That was one I will never go back to, and I would not suggest any of my clients go there. But some of the more interesting places that we have loved, Amsterdam, Switzerland, Basel, Switzerland, going down to the Galapagos.
Oh, sure.
Taking a voyage down to the Antarctic. It was awesome. I'm taking a group, as a matter of fact, in November on a riverboat from Nice, France, to Geneva, Switzerland.
Wow.
And I am the tour conductor, so it should be really fantastic.
Yeah, you're an experienced tour conductor.
Absolutely, sure. Yeah. I love traveling. And I love the entire experience. I don't think, other than 1 or 2 incidents, it really was terrible. I highly recommend travel. Get out of your comfort zone and enjoy your life. And don't wait, because you wait until you are retired and have various illnesses. It's no fun to travel.
Yeah.
So travel while you can.
Yep.
Ready to amplify your brand's voice? At Blue Mike Studios, we transform your ideas into captivating podcasts and videos. Whether you're launching your own show or guest starring on ours, we've got you covered. from recording and editing to social media promotion. With state-of-the-art 4K video and crystal clear audio, your content will shine. We offer guest packages on our podcasts and offer segments from the show for you to share. Or let us help you build your own branded podcast with custom strategy, branding, and full production support. Visit BlueMikeStudios.com today and let your voice be heard.
The interesting part of travel, which you found, is also if food and people. There's so many varying experiences you can have with the types of food, and also, you and I being Americans, what they think of other countries when they serve American food. When they put it in front of you, like. So tell me some of those things that you've witnessed in other cultures.
Goodness. I would say that it was always interesting. Ordering in French when you don't speak French is difficult.
Sure.
I do speak a certain amount of Spanish, so that was always good. Tipping is interesting around different parts of the world. Some don't expect tipping, and others do. And just knowing where you are and what's expected and what's not is important. And we help our clients know a little bit about what to expect in that area. The people that you meet, there's people that you meet on these ships,
fellow travelers.
That it's like you've known them all your life. And you promise you're going to get together after the cruise, and it doesn't generally happen. But it's so much fun while you're on there.
Yeah, that's
it is great. I just put somebody actually on a rail trip. And they were fearful of flying. They didn't want to fly, but they wanted to see some of the country in a different way. And so we put them on a sleeper car. They left Dallas. They changed rails in Chicago, and they experienced the Rockies and ended in Glenwood Springs. They loved the trip. It was a couple weeks all together with the stops in Chicago and in Glenwood Springs, and they wish they were on it longer.
Yeah.
They had a sleeper car. They had fine dining in their restaurant. They only had to, unpack, a couple times because they were able to see everything, and they didn't have to be on an airplane. So for those people that don't like air, they have that option. For those people that want to be on a trip that they don't need a passport, American Cruise Lines travels the rivers throughout the United States, and they're great. They do a good job. They actually have one that's a paddle wheel type ship. That they're still cruising.
I suspect that's on the Mississippi.
It's on the Mississippi. It's also in the Columbia River up in the Pacific Northwest. And then they have trips up into New England, which is fun. We don't have a specific line that we use. We really have an opportunity to book pretty much anybody. But we do have a unique advantage as being a member of Cruise Planners, and as they set out groups and they hold space for a period of years. Okay, and the longer they hold the space, the more valuable that space is because prices go up. So if a client was to go online and check out a particular voyage, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to beat their public price, which is always good.
Yeah, people love to save money and see and do interesting things.
Absolutely.
And it's a really good point you made about just domestic cruises and travel and rail, because the United States is a very large, very diverse country.
Absolutely.
There's so much to see and do here. So if you're looking to travel, you don't have to just put Europe or other places on your bucket list. There's so much here to see and do as well.
There is. But we also do all-inclusives. So we do all-inclusives in places like the Caribbean, in places like Mexico, and other places that it's a one-stop shop. You're enjoying yourself. You're unpacked. All the food, all the entertainment's provided. The drinks are provided.
Yeah.
So that's a nice opportunity too.
Yeah, it takes the guesswork out of a lot of the daily management of time and money. You have a series of questions you like to ask people who are about to travel, starting with, what's still on your bucket list. Let's talk about an engagement with you. Say, Jim, I called you up and say, I'm thinking things through.
Yeah.
Walk me through that intake that you do here.
Absolutely. So you contact me and you say you're interested in. Matter of fact, let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's on your bucket list?
Oh, it's so long, Jim. To your point, is like we need to do a lot. But let's say my wife and I want to try Iceland. We also want to do an Alaska cruise. Certainly, when you mention anything Europe,
Yeah.
the ones that you're guiding soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say the nearest one is Iceland.
Iceland.
That sounds really great to us.
Do you want to do it by land or by cruise?
That's a really great question. I would be open to suggestions from that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Since I haven't done Iceland in quite a long time, I don't know without my resources what I can provide you for that. But I can tell you that there's lots of options.
Yeah.
And I could help you with that. How many people would be traveling?
Also a great question, but something you and I, we're friends and we've talked recently. I've traveled with we have a Brady Bunch basically. My wife has 3 and I have 3. They're all young adults, and we recently traveled and they loved it. It was a great experience to be together for a week, and they've gently convinced us, Jim, that we should do this every couple of years.
Absolutely, I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'd be more than happy to help you.
Yeah,
the resources are a lot. We can help. But Iceland,
yes.
It would be an interesting place.
Yeah.
Alaska would be, obviously that's our country.
Yes.
And one of the sights to see in Alaska is the Denali, Mountain of Denali.
Interesting.
And Denali is north of Anchorage. And many people who go on cruises, they take a train from Anchorage all the way up to Denali. They're able to see the mountain. It's beautiful. That you can walk. There's lodging. It's typically a 3-day trip before the cruise.
Yeah.
And then they bring you down to the cruise port, and you sail to Vancouver. And it is always gorgeous. And the glaciers are glistening, and the culture is there, and the animal life is there. You can see whales. You can ice sled if it's a certain time of year. And if you go in the beginning of summer, it stays light all until midnight.
Yeah.
I mean, it has it's an incredible experience.
Well, yeah, offline, obviously, for those of you watching, listening, Jim and I are going to have a conversation because we clearly need to talk more about that. But for people listening, it sounds like, Jim, through your experience, your resources, through cruise planners, the best time to start planning a vacation is now.
Well, it is. We're booking out to 2028.
Yeah.
And that seems like a long ways away, but it really isn't. To get the best selection, you really need to lock it in early.
Yeah.
I just had an experience yesterday where the person wanted to take a trip to a short cruise out of Galveston down into Cozumel for 4 days. It was sold out.
Yeah.
And what wasn't sold out, the prices was 3 times as much as it should be. So waiting the last minute is never a good thing.
Yeah, it sounds like if you have a bucket list, start that bucket list right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because even planning, like you said, 2 years out, that gives planners, it gives you, even if you're not a planner, it still gives you plenty of time to put together the resources, but go ahead and book things in advance because then you know you're going.
Right.
And a goal, we both know this, a goal gets things moving.
Absolutely. There was a ship that I have wanted to sail, and as a travel agent, they want us to sail so that we can come back and talk about it.
Of course.
With our clients. And there was a ship called the Emerald Yacht. And the Emerald Yacht is a beautiful ship. It sails all over the world, but this particular ship that I saw was actually in the Caribbean and traveling from Barbados to St. Lucia. It holds 98 passengers. They're all served by butlers.
Oh, wow.
The food is to die for.
Imagine.
They do have National Geographic tour guides that take you off and show you these various beautiful areas down in the Caribbean. And for that, you're looking at about $15,000 per person per week. But our friend Elon Musk has $1 trillion,
Yeah.
so he could afford to buy the boat.
Yeah, right. Fair. But again, any amount of money that you're going to spend, if you plan it far enough, one, you're going to get all the discount advantage.
Absolutely.
Every discount that can be gained, and then it gives you time to prepare for that
But
rather
that
than
being
just
said,
waiting.
Yeah, but that being said, we booked somebody actually who was out of Florida and wanted to go on a short 4-day cruise, but had no money to spend. She said, I don't care if we get an inside cabin, but, put me on a ship. So we found an inside cabin, and she went out for 4 days. Her cost was $300 for herself and $300 for her partner.
Wow.
For 4 days. That's all inclusive. That's food, that's lodging, that's entertainment on the ship. And that particular cruise had 1 day in Cozumel, and you don't need really an excursion in Cozumel unless you feel like you need to. So very minimal expense. On these cruises, you typically pay gratuities to the servers. So a prepaid gratuity for 4 days was $68.
Wow.
So
you can do it on a budget.
So you can do it on a budget.
Yeah. That's wonderful. I'm seeing in front of me there's something you've written here, Jim, called pickleball sailing. And pickleball is all the rage right now. Tell me about this particular trip.
It is. We have a trip the beginning of the year on Holland America Cruise Lines. And Holland American has 2 pickleball courts on their ship.
Wow.
And they have pickleball on their private island.
How about that?
And we just showed, we just did a pickleball entertainment event, and we got pickleballers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
That sounds, and I'm reading that it's limited. So reach out to Jim now so you can get involved in that.
It is limited, and we actually have these pickleball courts reserved, and all it's lacking is you.
You and your pickleball paddle,
Right.
What do they call those things? Is it
Pickleball paddle.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
My wife and I play, but I don't have the vernacular down. I just know
Is
that
that
I like
right?
to get on the other side of the net. That's what I try
get
to
it.
do.
Well, I really respect pickleballers, but
Yeah.
as a tennis player, I still see it as the dark side.
Well, what's important is you have fun.
That's right.
And get out and do stuff, people. It's like you mentioned, it's like if you're waiting, really think about what you're waiting for, because none of us can predict what tomorrow brings. And that's why you travel and have life experiences.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. Well, Jim, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and just sharing your wealth of knowledge. You clearly care about this and enjoy it yourself.
I do.
And the knowledge you can share with people to give them the peace of mind to actually enjoy their vacation.
Yeah.
It's been great having you here.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.